So you got the big banks reporting on Friday, JP Morgan, Wells. So a lot of people look at these banks to set some of the tone. You know, we did have Alcoa, but, you know, looking at the banks, that tells us a lot about the health of consumers with credit cards. It tells us about the housing market. What are you starting to feel from your friends down here?
Well, here's what I think. I think that the people are looking for good numbers from the banks. I think, there's been a lot of positive news about the banks. Certainly, you're going to need the financials and the banks to be one of the leaders if we're going to get out of here. And the banks have actually acted very well over the last couple of months. But they need to show strong earnings in this first quarter. And I think they're preparing the industry, and they're preparing investors for numbers that are going to be pleasing to them. Now, that being the case, I think overall you look at housing numbers continue to still be horrendous. Foreclosures are up, at least 8 million people in foreclosure and more to come. And so you still have a lot of concern within that kind of financial industry, right? If you include housing in that number. So I think what you have to look at is I fully expect that JP Morgan and Wells Fargo are going to be a solid number, and that's going to help the market. But those don't define the whole economy, and that's what I mean. You just have to be careful. Look at them. Financials, I think, are going to be a good play. I think industrials are going to be a good play. But overall, you have to look at the broader market.
Any concern with them and their reserve releases, because they've been making a lot of these quarters over the last year or so by releasing some of those reserves, and that's how they make that number. But that isn't real growth.
It's not real growth, and it's going to be interesting because tomorrow we're going to see how JP Morgan and Wells Fargo do it. So I'm not a financial services analyst, so I'm just as anxious as everyone else tomorrow to hear what they say and how they say it and how they produce the numbers they produce, because that will be very telling.
All right, so we're going to keep our eyes on those banks and when they come out with their earnings tomorrow.
This market is
stock pickers market.
Stocks have rallied this year.
We're coming into a Monday where we're going to